Poem number one, Flamingo, My Mother at 66. First, we will be talking about the author, Kamala Das. Kamala Das was an Indian English poet. She was born in Malabar, Kerala. She is a multilingual poet. Okay, she knows three languages and she was known for her originality, versatility, and indigenous flavor. Now, what is indigenous flavor? When we talk about native culture, when we take references from native, for example, if we are from India and we take references from Indian culture, that is your indigenous one. Now, she has published many novel and she is known for her pen name that is Madhavi Kutti. After marriage, she has changed her name from Kamala Das to Kamala Suraya Begum. Okay, so she has three names. First, Kamala Das. Second, Kamala Suraya Begum. Third, Madhavi Kutti. She has written her autobiographical work that is My Story. She has written autobiographical work that is My Story. Now, she talks about the complexities of human relationship. For example, she has written My Grandmother's House. In that also she talks about human relationship bonding. Okay. Now, about the title, My Mother at 66. What does 66 indicates? Age. Age is symbolic. Symbolic of what? Time, passage of time, we can say. Okay. So the theme of the poem is age and aging. Age and aging. Second, it talks about the fear of loss and separation. Now, let us start the poem. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doors open mouth, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain. Now, what happened? Poet is driving from her parents' home to Cochin last Friday, and she has observed something. What? That her mother is sitting beside her, and she was dozing. Dozing means taking a nap, feeling sleepy, open mouth. Her face ashen like that of a corpse. Corpse is the dead body, but here the comparison is drawn as she is energyless, she is listless, okay, lifeless. That's why it has been compared with dead body. And realized with pain. Now, what kind of pain? That she was as old as. Now, here the poet is emphasizing on old. Okay, the age of her mother. Now, here it is not simile. Here simile, here as old as is not simile, it is repetition. Repetition to emphasize on the idea of age, in age and aging of her mother. Looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting and the merry children spilling. Now, what happened? Inside the car, there was a very dark and gloomy environment. So, to put that thought away, the poet looked outside. Okay, and here we have a contrast. See, why is capitalized this unwanted why this unwanted capitalization? First question. Second, when poet tries to make something more intense, more impactful, that is poet's choice. Okay, poetic license. Now, young trees sprinting. So outside the windows, young trees sprinting. This is personification. Young trees sprinting, merry children spilling is the metaphor. Now, what is happening inside the car? We have dark, gloomy, pessimistic, negative environment, but outside, young trees sprinting. Young trees sprinting indicates a passage of time. When you are in the car, and the car is moving, you will see everything is moving in a way. So that indicates a passage of time. Merry children spelling. Merry children means the enthusiastic, happy children. They are coming out of their homes. Okay. Now what is happening? Here we have a contrast. Inside the car, what is there? We have a very dull, gloomy, dark, pessimistic, P-double-S-I-M-I-S-T, pessimistic environment. But outside the window, what is there? We have enthusiasm, happiness. Okay, we have enthusiasm, we have happiness, we have optimistic environment, we have energy. Okay, see, there is a contrast inside the car, outside the car. So the poet has drawn contrast here. Okay. Also, second is imagery. Inside the car, what thing is there? Old, dark, gloomy environment. Outside, young trees sprinting. When you will see such kind of description that you can clearly picturize in your mind, that is imagery. Okay. Now, out of their homes, but after the airport security check, a few yards away, I looked again at her van, pale as a late winter's moon. Now, what is happening? Again, after a few yards away, she was standing there. She looked at her van. Van means colorless, pale, faded yellow color. Okay, as a late winter's moon. Now, what does late winter's moon indicate? Understand. First, winter is symbolic. Symbolic of what? Symbolic of the end of the cycle. End of the cycle. So what kind of cycle we are talking about here? Here we are talking about the approaching death of her mother. This is symbolic. Okay. Now the second explanation is understand as a late winter's moon. Now understand this is simile. This is simile. Okay, this is simile. Now how it is simile? Understand. In winter, the moon is unclear, hazy. Okay, so let us think about poet's mother. Her face is wrinkled, unclear, hazy. So that is the reason this comparison has been drawn. And felt that old familiar ache. What is that old familiar ache of all human beings? The losing of their parents. Okay, losing of their parents. So my childhood fear here is losing of the parent. Now, again, she is being very optimistic, but all I said was, see you soon, Amma. She is trying to be hopeful. She knows that what is certain in life, that is death. She is aware. So she has to accept that harsh reality. So now she is saying that, see you soon, Amma. She is trying to be very hopeful. All I did was smile and smile and smile. So here she is smiling. Repetition is here. Repetition is here. Now, why the poet uses repetition as a figure of speech? To emphasize on certain idea. So what idea is here? That she has an imposed smile, and with that she is trying to hide her pain. She is giving her a hope that again she will see her mother. Okay, so that kind of escapism you can say. Okay, so this is the idea of the poem. Now let us discuss about the question answer. What is the kind of pain and ache that the poet feels? About fear and loss. What does the young tree is described as sprinting? It indicates the passage of time. Many children indicates this is a contrast, or you can say imagery has been drawn. Imagery is here. Okay, late winter's moon is symbolic of what? End of the cycle, approaching death of her mother. What do the parting word poet and her smile signify? That she is trying to hide her feeling. She is trying to hide her feeling. Okay, and she is being hopeful and accepting the reality. Is this clear? Okay, thank you.